splitting text into columns is an example of Sheets being able to save a lot of time. So there's a short example here just to show how the system works, and then we'll look at it a bit more in a second. So I've got Vader, Darth, and Skywalker, Luke, and I want to split it so that I've got column A being what surname and column B being their first name. Now, one option here would be for me to copy and paste it out, or to just type Darth in here, to type Luke in here, and then delete Luke there. It takes a long time, especially if I have a long list. So I need to take advantage of the ability to split it. To split it, I need to rely on Sheets' ability to recognize how to split them and what separates the characters. So if I click on here, and that's the data I want to sort, and if I go to data, and if I go to split text into columns, it immediately analyzes it, and it's decided it's going to split it up into Vader, Darth, and Skywalker, Luke. Now, if I look down here, there's a little icon that tells me the separator is detected automatically. If I just use undo, we can see why that's worked. These two names are separated by a comma. So the two values are separated by a comma, and it's recognized that in both the data entries in this spreadsheet that we've got text, comma, text, and it's asked me to split it into two columns. So it's gone, right, okay, it must be the comma that's the separator. Now, this works more with a bigger list. So if I go over to a bigger list here, you'll see I've got a long list of names, and I want to get it so I've got column A with the first name and column B with the surname. So I should have Darth in column A and Vader in column B. This time, however, there is no comma separating them. And because of that, it might struggle to pick things up because I've got a mixture as well. I've got Rey here with no second name, and I've got R2D2 with hyphens, and I've got Obi-Wan Kenobi. So we've got three names that the first part is hyphenated, so all the little separators are different. So if I click on A, and I go to data, and I go to split text into columns, it cannot do it automatically this time. So the separator detect automatically has failed. It hasn't been able to do anything. So I need to choose an option. I'm going to go with space because looking at all these names, the way they're written, I, looking at my data, know that the space is what's separating the first name from the last name, looking at Han Solo. So it's Han space Solo. So if I click on space, it will split them up. I may have to do some work afterwards to sort it out. So looking at it, Darth and Vader split it up nicely. Anakin Skywalker are all there. R2D2, it's got hyphenation means that it counts as one word. So Sheets has read R2-D2 as one word. So it's read it as R2D2 space blank. So I've got a blank for its surname. Obi-Wan Kenobi, we had Obi-Wan is read as one word. So it's Obi-Wan space Kenobi. So that's worked nicely. Chewbacca and C-3PO, nothing in their surnames. So that's come out as C-3PO space blank. That's fine. Rey space blank, that's fine. BB-8 hyphenated, so he counts as one. The one that's misbehaved here is Jar Jar Binks. Now, his name was not hyphenated. So because of that, it's read it as Jar space Binks. So it's split the text into three columns because it thinks that there are three entries in there. The rest have all done absolutely fine. So at this stage, for the sake of time, it's probably worth me just manually editing this one by hand. So I could just click into Jar Jar here and just put in Jar, sorted him out that way. With just one or two entries, it's probably quicker doing it like that. What might have made sense to do beforehand is to look at my list, and now that I know how it works, is think, well, if I want to keep his name like that, I should put a hyphen in. So that's it working in a bigger list. Again, the options it gave me were space, comma. Comma separated variables are the most commonly used ones in large downloadable databases or spreadsheets. So it's very good at recognizing those. It's good at spaces. It can cope with semicolons and it can cope with full stops. You can also use it to your advantage if you wanted to, say, update an old-fashioned spreadsheet or a Google Doc or from something from Word that you copied and pasted in. So here we've got names and a score and a test kept in a very strange way. So rather than keeping it in separate columns, whoever's done this has recorded them in the same column. Now, text to columns is its name, but it's actually doing it on recognition. So we can treat it as Rey, comma, 15. So the 15 is a second item. So I should be able to split this into two columns. Now, this is going to be a comma separated variable because it's the comma is the separator. So I've got Rey, comma, Poe, comma, R2D2, comma, and I've got their scores. So if I go, I've got that cell selected, I go into data, I go into split text into columns, and because they're all the same, it's all a comma, it's done it automatically and managed to split me out into two columns. So that's quite a good way to rescue data if you've accidentally put things in the same column or copied and pasted across from another source and it's put it all together. all these are really effective uses of getting a spreadsheet up and running, because ultimately in a spreadsheet, you don't want two names in the same column. You don't want two sets of data in the same column. You want to get each column with its own little data stream in it. So that is splitting text to columns. Give it a go.